What is up, everybody? It is Archimedes Aizen here, back at it again with another video. Now this video is, what if Deku was a marksman? Now, thanks Anti-Venom for making this thumbnail. I saw this thumbnail and my brain started, moving the gears. I really like this what if idea itself. And I'm gonna put his Discord tag in the link down below. So everybody go check him out if you wanna, if you're starting what ifs and you want a thumbnail from him. I don't think he'll have a problem with making it for you. He's not like DankGod. He's not exclusive. So yeah, everybody go add him on Discord. Now, yeah, I have a Discord server. Everyone, there's 74 members there. No, 77 members, and we're going strong. The more subscribers I get, maybe more people will join. But I'm gonna keep putting the Discord link in my description, just like before. Everybody go also check out Izukage. He edits all my videos, and yeah, anything you see in the video is all him. So definitely go check him out. He'll obviously be in the YouTube link down below. He's like my editor. He has access to my YouTube studio. He's like yeah. So pretty much, guys, without further ado, let's get into this what if. Now we start this what if. Izuku Midoriya, a little boy with green, mossy green hair, would grow up. Now, in this timeline, Hisashi Midoriya would still be there for the few years he was, maybe until Deku was 8. Now in this timeline, so like Inko wouldn't have gotten I don't want to say fat, but you know what I mean. She wouldn't have her cannon form due to Hisashi being there, and Deku would basically get a quirk. Like, if you guys are wondering what's the quirk, it's basically a gun quirk and a telekinesis mixed together. He can controls where the bullet goes. He's mastery with every gun. Like, he can materialize any gun he wants, any weapon, a sword, a gun, a sniper, anything. And he has mastery over any lethal weapon. So, yeah. So, pretty much in the first few years of being alive, he would be trained by his father in any weapon. He would materialize from 4 to 8. He would be trained in it. So after the few years, we'll time skip to about when Deku was 8. Now he would have gotten up and he would still be him innocent self. He would then walk downstairs and he would see his dad having his suitcase going to work, and then he would see his mom making breakfast. He would say, Izuku, come down to the table so we can eat breakfast. Before she would then grab 2 plates and she would put them on the table. Now pretty much what would happen is they would sit down and they would eat their breakfast, and Deku is a growing boy, so he eats a lot for his age. So yeah. Now after breakfast, he would then pick up his backpack and hug his mom before walking out, going to his school. Now once he would head to his school, he would walk in and he would wave to Bakugo and all the other people at his school before he would then go into his seat and the school day would start. Now we'll time skip to about recess. Now if you guys are wondering, does Bakugo and Deku have the same canon relationship? Yes. But the thing is, Deku can protect himself. He genuinely hates Bakugo. If you're wondering why did I just say he waved at him this morning, I mean, I didn't mean he waved directly at him. He just waved at everyone. He just kind of has that outgoing personality due to him now having a quirk, and due to him having more friends, I guess, just acquaintances. He's just in general an outgoing person. Now we time skip, like I said, to about recess time. Now Deku would be chilling at the playground until pretty much Bakugo would walk up to him and try to impose his authority on him. Now pretty much Deku would be like, is there something you want, Bakugo? And Bakugo would say, I want you to bow down and lick my feet. Now, I didn't actually mean lick my feet, but like when no I don't, it's so yeah, so Bakugo would try to make Deku kneel to him and pretty much submit to his power. But Deku would say, I don't think I'll do that, Mr. Akatsuki. He would then get up and he would pretty much summon a pistol. Now this pistol will be a 1911 with a suppressor, and this would have a very special, I guess, skin. I don't know, any material. It was very beautiful. It had like, it was white. It had some gold pearls on it, and it had a little bit of green in there, you know, representing his mossy green hair. Now, pretty much, he would then aim the gun at Bakugo's head. He would say, "Well, how about you bend down to me? How about that? What are you gonna do about it? Your hands can explode fast enough, then I shoot you through the face. What are you gonna do about that? And now I want you to bend down, you little shit." He would then pretty much put his foot down on the, you know, on Bakugo's head, and he would make Bakugo eat the dirt. He would say, "Before I shoot you, I want you to eat the dirt below you. I want you to do it right now." So pretty much Bakugo would start to eat the dirt in desperate needs to actually want to live. And pretty much Deku would say, "Good boy, you know, you know how to actually, you know, act like a good dog." Before he would grab him by the throat and he would throw him across the playground. Before he would sit back down and resume, and he would ask everyone around him, he's like, "Is there something wrong?" And they would say, Of course not, Izuku." And then before they would just walk away. After this, Deku would say, "Such lowly beings don't even deserve to look in my way." Now, pretty much Deku would be like, "Damn, I didn't know I can actually act like this. I like this new me. You know, it's very more useful." Now, I don't know if I should call myself Deku. I should just go with Izuku now. Now, after school, Deku would be walking on his way home until he would pretty much, for some reason, he would see his dad, like, getting jumped by, like, other villains, or not villains, but, like, low thugs. And, you know, they would have pulled out, like, guns, and pretty much Deku would be like, "You using guns when I'm literally, like, the gun master?" So he would then pull out a gun, maybe, like, a shotgun, before he would then, aim his gun at one of the thugs before he would shoot him in the face. Now after this, he would then run to another one, then summon a nightstick before then kind of choking him to death, kind of like how Aiden Pierce does. Then he would then turn around, summon a 1911 suppressed, and then shoot the guy in the face. But obviously damage was done, and Hasashi Midoriya is obviously dead. Now for some reason, something was wrong with Deku. When he looked at Hasashi's dead body, he didn't actually feel anything. It's like he didn't actually care about him. So he would then walk into the alley and he would go home until he would tell his mom the bad news, and he would tell her that we should probably move. And you know, she took his advice, and they would move into more of dangerous neighborhoods in the area. So Deku would then tell Inko that he'll start to give her money, and she was quite confused. How would he do this? So pretty much, he would start to rob convenience stores without the owner knowing, or just find any way to get money, and this would help them out. So pretty much, we'll do a time skip for around 6 years. Deku would go to a different school in this timeline, and yeah, now. He wouldn't really go to school much. He passed everything, so he was pretty much almost excused from class. And he pretty much in that time, he dropped out of school. Like, he graduated school early and he went about his life. Now, he would have went into this alleyway and he would have walked into this bar. Now, he would have walked in and he would have saw Kirigiri, and he would have said, "So this is the place where you can become a villain and all." And pretty much say, "Oh yes, Izuku Midoriya, right?" And pretty much would say, "Yeah, it's Izuku Midoriya. How are you doing?" Now, pretty much what would happen is, Kirigiri would say, "I'm doing just fine. So you want to become a villain, right?" And Izuku would say, "Yeah." Kirigiri would ask, "So what's your quirk?" And Izuku would say, "Well, I can summon any weapon, any gun. And for example, if I were to shoot you, I can control where the bullet goes." So Kurogiri would be like, "That's quite a fascinating quirk if I do say so myself. Let's take you to our boss." He'd then walk over and they would go to a room before they would knock, and a raspy voice would answer saying, "Enter." So Alright, I'm back. I was talking with Yami. He gave me a few ideas here. Thanks to him, though. He is starting a What If channel, so everybody go check him out. If he sends me the link to his channel, I'll put it in the description. But if not, still check him out some way. Now, pretty much Deku would then be introduced to that of Shigaraki Tomura. Now, Shigaraki says, "So, who are you?" And Kuragi would explain, "Well, he wants to join." And Shigaraki be told that his quirk was, a gun, and he knows that they're, someone in the organization, the quirk doctor, has every weapon, and Deku can pretty much materialize them. He can pretty much give an image, and he can materialize it. So Deku would say, "Oh yeah, after a few training, you can definitely join us." He would say in a raspy voice due to his quirk's side effects. He would then get up and he would tell Deku, showing the follow me hand sign, and they would walk towards around the corner, and they would go to All For One. Now All For One would take him to the quirk doctor. After they would have a few conversation, All For One completely I guess understands Deku joining them, and he has a few tests before they can fully trust him. So they would pretty much walk up to the quirk doctor, and he would start to show Deku different images of different guns. So for example, he would show like a sniper with basically made from diamond itself, but the bullet would still be metal. But this bullet would have a special effect. When hit, it would completely go into fire. So it's like a fire effect. Some has a poisoning effect, some has like a metal poisoning, I guess, in a sense. It's just other effects. And so he would summon each gun, and he would start to expand his own arsenal. He would then not just be guns, he would summon axes. He would then summon axes that have similar effects like fire, poisoning. Same with swords, and he would get a sword called Ryujin. He would get other weapons that have similar metaphorical names or symbolic names to that of a dragon or a snake or other names. I can't really think of them, but hey, if you have any names, definitely put them down in the comments. So pretty much after Deku, like an hour, they would go through all his weapons, and Deku would be told by All For One that their money is kind of running short. So what they need to do is they need to rob the Federal Bank of Japan. And since people's trust in the government is very low, people like the hostages inside won't really cooperate against them. So it would have been easy robbing them. So they would pretty much start the planning phase. Now what they will do is Deku himself. Everything is Deku, but at the end they'll have a few crew to go with him, like Shigaraki and Kurogiri. So what would happen is Deku would then go on a mission to basically retrieve guard clothes to go inside the vault. So he would then go into a car, pretty like a Mustang. I really like Mustangs for some reason. I don't know why. But he would have gotten inside, and he would have drove to the mission, the guard, like the Union Depository area, where all the guards there, go there to apply for jobs. So he would have walked in, and he would have used a device that would have made him go invisible. Before he would then walk past the guard, and he would have seen like the staff area. Now he would have walked in, opened the closet, and all the uniforms were there with the badges. And they can easily manipulate. They're like technological, so you can easily manipulate the names. So Deku would take about 4 badges, since that's what they needed, before they would then take the uniforms and the backup device. They had a backup device, so if the place were to be robbed, that's what they would need to get inside. So they pretty much had their way in. So Deku would then walk out, and they would then pretty much Deku would go back to the Deku would then go back to the League of Villains hideout before he would head back. So he would then report to Shigaraki, telling him that he can rob the bank tomorrow. Now Shigaraki would say, "That's quite good. It seems if you were to do more missions for us, you might become a trusted member, maybe even a captain, a lieutenant." Something like that. If you guys are wondering where am I coming with these rankings, is Shigaraki was using the Liberation Group, like what in the future, to rank Deku. So yeah. Now Deku would nod before going to his room, and he would then sleep. Now the next day, Deku got up, and he would have gotten his outfit. It would have been like a huge jacket, like the one that covered your body. It had like, I can't remember its name though. It was like a windbreaker. And he would have gotten his mask, and he would have gotten his guns, I guess, but he can materialize them, so that's not really needed. And pretty much he and Kurogiri and Shigaraki would get into a car with Deku driving, and they would head over to the Union place. So pretty much Kurogiri would then warp into that of like a security guard, while Deku and Shigaraki would change into the uniform. Now Deku would kind of be the sniper in this. So yeah, so when they get to the bank, he'll change out of it and he'll pretty much play the bait, while the Shigaraki and Kurogiri get all the money and teleport back to the base, and Deku escapes. So Deku would then head inside, and they would get into the truck. Now once they would get into the truck, they would then drive to the Union Depository of like Japan, or the Federal Reserve of Japan. It would have been like $50 million to $100 million. So there'd been a lot. Then the League of Villains only need about 25 million. So yeah, I'm just making up numbers, but never mind. So Deku would have drove the truck all the way to the bank, and yeah, they would have walked in. They would have walked all the way to the vault, deposited all the fake credit card chips, make it look like it's a transaction. For Deku would be outside, and he would have his sniper before he would then snipe all the security guards with a suppressor. Before he would get down the roof and then kick down the door, before he would then tell everybody get down, this is a robbery. So he would then pretty much go to the clerks and pretty much force him or her to open the vault. Now once they would open the vault, no one would be there. It's just Deku pretty much kind of doing like a decoy like robbery. So he would let the other people put their alarm while Shigaraki and Kurogiri were in the truck driving away. So it would have been a good decoy. So Deku would then see that the vault's empty, and he would have then shot the clerk in the face, killing him, before then running out, jumping into his car, the Mustang. Like I was talking, it was like midnight blue. It's like the Vapid Dominator from GTA. So he would get in, and he would then drive off as the police would start to chase him. So pretty much you would then see there was 3 police vehicles behind him, chasing him, and Deku would have pretty much then made a left, and this would have caused like a huge he would have drifted, and then he would have then pretty much quickly see 2 other cars that were exactly like him, and they would have drawn into a tunnel. Now the thing is, he had Shigaraki create like a tunnel to the right in the middle of the, create a an escape point to the right, a huge hole to the right into the sewers, and pretty much the 2 other cars would come out, and all the police would be confused. So Shigaraki would then make a hole, and Deku would then drive through and pick up Shigaraki before they would drive off out of the sewers to the League of Villains base. Now once they would get there, Shigaraki and Deku would high five, obviously 4 fingers for Shigaraki, and they would then this would pretty much start their bond of friendship. Now, if you guys wonder how much they stole about $100 million. Now, they would have turned on the TV, and they would see breaking news. A suspicious man with green hair was seen leaving the bank with millions of dollars of the Federal Reserve. Now, the government pretty much declared war on them, and yeah, all the heroes will be hunting them down soon. So All For One would say it's quite a good mission, but don't celebrate just yet. A lot of people will be coming after us, and we need to be on guard. So Deku would nod his head before All For One would then show them to the planning room. They would have shown all the heroes they need to hit in order to completely dismember all of the I guess the heroes in the society. So he would then mark the planning room, and they would see 1 was All Might, 1 was Endeavor, and then 1 was Hawks. So if they were to take off all those heroes, and yeah, they would have completely they would win, since the other heroes wouldn't be able to win. So because they rely on Hawks, Endeavor, and All Might. So All For One would make a fake event. For about a month from now, he would camouflage himself as a donator, and he would donate to the Hero Association about $5 million worth. I don't know about yen, but yeah, in about 1 month this would occur. So yeah, that'll be the end of that arc. Now the next arc would then be Deku basically training. He would be training for the next month, training his martial arts, training everything, and he would train with All For One. Now, if you guys were wondering why would he train with All For One, he could train with Muscular, Dabi, other people, but All For One has all these quirks. He can probably train him in a certain martial arts. It would have been quite easy. Since Deku has, he needs to not rely on his weapons. He has to rely on himself sometimes. So, yeah, pretty much Deku would have trained for the next month, and we'll time skip to that month. Now, pretty much what would happen is that, All For One would tell them where all the heroes would be, and Deku would be a few buildings away with his scope in hand. Now, pretty much what would happen is Deku would be on the scope, behind his scope, as All For One would be disguised. He would come in and shake the hands of the hero before he would then walk away, giving them the check. Now, once he would walk away, he would then give the sign to Deku, before Deku would then look at All Might. He would then zoom in. He would then scan his body with his scope. It had a technological scanner. It could see the wounds. He would then shoot. He would then put his finger on the trigger before he would then aim at All Might's injury. He'd say, it seems you have an injury. He would then open his barrel before putting in the special effect. He would then shoot, put his finger on the trigger and shoot. He would then shoot All Might in the injury place before all the civilians start running around, and this would blind the hero's vision. For All Might would then be pretty much sent into his skinny form, and Endeavor and Hawks would be in the moment of shock before Deku would then snipe Hawks in the face, killing him. Now later on, he would then put in the fire quirk erasing bullet before he would then shoot Endeavor, killing him as well through the heart. So he would cancel his quirk and kill him at the same time. He would then leave All Might alive. He completely destroyed All Might's name and used his quirk erasing bullet to completely erase one for all from his system itself. He would then walk away as he went to the League of Villains base. So he would pretty much get there, and what would happen is once he would pretty much get there, he would then be seen with All For One. Now once All For One would pretty much shake his hand, Deku would then, form a blade behind his back before stabbing him through the back. Now Deku would then grab him by the face, and then, form a gun before shooting him in the face with a quirk erasing bullet. So this would completely erase All For One, and Deku would then grab him by the arm, throw him into the wall before then getting his sword and cutting him into tiny little pieces, due to his just superhuman speed, and yeah. He would have killed All For One. Now, that would have been the end of the fight. Now, Deku would then walk out, and he would claim himself as the leader of the League of Villains, and pretty much Shigaraki would kind of forcefully join, but he still had a friendship with Deku, so he didn't really mind. Now, Toga or Dabi, Muscular, they didn't really care either. They didn't really know who All For One is, so they didn't even know. So what would happen is they would finalize their last attack on Hero Society. Now Deku this time won't be behind the scope, he'll be in person there. So what they'll be doing is pretty much they're gonna take down the government. Now this was a huge attack, and they're realizing how they're even gonna do this, but Deku would then encourage them, saying he has a plan. So he would then tell them that he can make any weapon, right? So he would pretty much make a nuke. It would take him a lot of energy out of him, so he could only make this. He would pretty much use all of his quirk energy in a sense to make this one attack. This would have been, he can only do this once ever. Anytime he would do this, it would just exert him all of his energy, and he wouldn't really need it. So he would pretty much make the hydrogen bomb kind of, and they would then walking towards the place before Deku and the rest of the villains like Dabi, Toga, Toga would use her quirk on them, and they would change their looks into that of government officials. Now Deku would then walk around for then placing bombs in the whole government parliament in a sense. Before they would then all walk out, and they would then pretty much get about 100 miles away, back to the League of Villains base, before they would then walk into the sunset as the huge, the whole city, not the city, but the parliament building would blow up. Now, after this, all the other bombs they placed like maybe 10 blocks in the perimeter, the epicenter, like 10 blocks from that building, in the circle, they all would have blown up. As the hydrogen bomb probably took about half a town, maybe a few districts, and Deku and all the villains would have been walking off into the sunset. Now, this would have been the end of this What If. It's kind of a short one shot. And if you're wondering what happens with Deku, who does he end up with? Deku would have married a woman named Yumi, and they would have had 2 kids. Yeah, I couldn't really think of anything else. Yumiko, that's her name. I almost forgot it, but I just shortened it to Yumi to make it a little more simpler. But without further ado, guys, yeah, that'll be the end of this What If. Have a good day.